Hey guys, welcome back to your Heroclix headquarters. We've got some more exciting new previews for you guys today. Honestly, I didn't think we would get any more previews. I thought we were about done with them, but we got some more and they look pretty awesome. This time they are coming to us from the 2 Clicks from KO website, so as always, go check them out there and support them. But without further ado, let's check out what we've got today. Alright, so we're going to start with the Uncommon Prime number 31B, Punisher. Now this isn't the Punisher we all know and love, this is something else entirely. He's got the Frightful Four, Cosmic, Herald, and Robot keywords. And apologies if some of the pictures are a little fuzzy, sometimes it's hard to find really good ones. But like all the other Frightful Four, he has a Frightful Four trait. Strange, heavenly armored being, half robot, half alive. Friendly characters with the Frightful Four keyword deal penetrating damage to opposing characters with 2 action tokens. So that's pretty good. Your whole Frightful Four team will deal penetrating damage to anybody that has 2 action tokens. So if you can get the timing right, that can be pretty huge. And he's got another trait, Merciless Hardcore Mass of Mayhem. Close Combat Expert, Colossal Stamina, and Giant Reach 2. And he does have the Power Cosmic team ability, so he'll have regular willpower and be protected from Outwit. And he starts with a movement power, he's Unstoppable, Charge, and Flurry. And just looking at his dial is pretty powerful. He starts at 125 points with a 10 movement, Charge and Flurry, Flight, 11 attack, 18 with Invincible, and 4 damage. So that's some pretty good combos of powers. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage, especially if he attacks anybody with 2 action tokens, because he's going to be able to get that penetrating damage from his own trait. And with that 10 movement with Charge, Flurry, and Giant Reach, and the 11 attack, 4 damage, you're talking about 7 square reach for a potential 8 penetrating damage on anybody that has 2 action tokens. That is nuts. He does have a 75 point line as well, where he starts with a 9 movement with hypersonic speed, 11 attack, 18 with impervious, and a 3 damage. No range, but he could have an 11 square reach with that hypersonic and that giant reach, which again could be penetrating damage. He ends it there with some Battle Fury and some Steel Energy with that Charge Flurry combo again, so he has the potential to heal up quite a bit. All in all, he looks like a pretty solid figure. I personally don't really know anything about this character, but for a sealed game, he would definitely bring the pain, it looks like. Alright, and moving on, we have a super rare Ghost Rider. Yet again, it's the Alejandra one. So this is number 53A. We saw the 53B before her Prime version. What's interesting to me, before we even get started on the dial, her sculpt is entirely different. She's a single base, she's standing there, whereas her Prime version is like a peanut base, she's on a bike. It's weird because normally they reuse the sculpts and just change them slightly for the Prime version, but 2 totally different sculpts for a Super Rare and a Super Rare Prime is pretty awesome, especially for Super Rare Prime being so rare as it is. It's nice to get a whole new sculpt. That's pretty awesome. But looking at what she can do, she's got what looks like the Codex, Fantastic Four, Mystical, and Monster keywords. She starts with a trait, Temporarily Sent Back by Johnny Blaze, King of Hell. When Ghost Rider would be KO'd for the first time, instead turn her to any click number from 1 to 5. The next time she takes damage from an opponent's attack, KO her, Protected Pulse Wave. So that's really awesome. You get that kind of once per game save, so when she would be KO'd, you can put her back on any click number. And then looking at her dial, it's pretty short, but she is only 50 points. And she looks like she's got some really solid stats the whole way down. And looking at that special defense power, the Guardian Phantasma, she has Defend, Energy Shield Deflection, Toughness, and Willpower. That's a lot of standard powers for one special. And then the other part of it says, adjacent friendly characters of equal or lower points that share a keyword with Ghost Rider can use Energy Shield Deflection. So that's great. I love characters that can give people things like energy shield deflection or other defensive powers. When you combo that with the fact that she's got defend with an 18 defense, that means pretty much everybody adjacent to her that's 50 points or less that shares the keyword is going to have a 20 defense from ranged attacks minimum, which is nuts for only 50 points. And then taking a closer look at her dial, she's got a 9 movement with charge, 11 attack with quake, 18 with that special defense power, and a 3 damage to start with, and a 4 range. And then we can also see at the end she's got some flurry and steel energy with a 4 damage, so she's got some good damage potential on her last click and the ability to heal somewhat, and then combo that with the fact that when she would be KO'd you can bring her back once. It's pretty crazy. I'd probably want to bring her back on click number 2 for that running shot penetrating blast, but for 50 points she's pretty freaking awesome. It would be nice to see some improved movement. I can understand why they didn't give it to her, considering she's not on her motorcycle this time, but you know, there's been plenty of times they've given Ghost Rider improved movement and you should kind of pretend he's on his motorcycle, so they could have done that. But you know, for 50 points you can't really complain. She already does a lot for the team. It's probably better that she's the one being carried anyway, that she might not need improved movement, just to be able to give people that 18 defense with energy shield deflection. And then, you know, starting out with that quake too to knock people back and make it so they have to shoot still, you know, that could probably come in handy as well. But all in all, I really like her. I always love Ghost Riders, and it's nice to finally get a couple new versions of Alejandra, because we've only had the one convention exclusive before, so I'm really excited to get some new ones. Finally, we have another chase previewed. It's the Maker. So that's the crazy Ultimates Universe version of Mr. Fantastic. And it looks like he has the Cabal, Revengers, and Scientist keywords. He's got some improved movement hindering and improved targeting hindering. He starts out with a trait, Ultimate Elastic Body, Plasticity, Super Senses, Giant Reach of 4, and when the Maker attacks characters he targets, modify defense -1 for each team ability they can use. So that's going to be pretty strong in this set for sure, because there's plenty of characters that have at least 1, if not 2 team abilities. And you know, I feel like we've been seeing a lot of that in recent sets. A lot of characters with 2 team abilities sometimes. So that's a pretty powerful trait to have. But then he's got another trait. I've been making some new tools, Outwit and Perplex. When Maker hits after resolutions, generate a token that is a copy of an equipment object that's equipped to a hit opposing character. That object has max 1 for each object token and isn't scored. So that can be extremely powerful if your opponent played some good objects and already had them equipped when you got in the fight. If he hits somebody, he just generates a copy of that object as a token next to him, and then somebody could equip that, and who knows what you could get. You could get, you know, an Infinity Gauntlet, some Infinity Gems, some maybe Exospecs, a Mandarin Ring. There's a million things that people play nowadays. There's so many good objects, and we're getting more in the Spider-Man and Venom set coming up soon, so there's even more objects that he could create from that. That's a really neat trait to see. Plus he's got the Outwit and the Perplex, which is going to be awesome, with improved targeting hindering, so he could outwit people in stealth. Pretty crazy, really good support figure. But he also has a special on his damage, Splitting Myself Apart, Shape Change, Power, Generate a Maker 2 bystander, maximum 1. And then taking a look at what the Maker 2 bystander does, he actually has a range of 6 with an 8 movement plasticity, 11 attack penetrating blast, 18 defense with super senses and indomitable, and a 3 damage with a special power that says imperfect clone. Maker may use outwit, perplex, and probability control as if he occupied this square. So after you've generated your Maker 2, you can move him out somewhere, and then you have 2 possible squares you could use to be drawing your range and line of fire for your outwit, perplex, or probability control. And taking a look at Maker's dial, he has probability control on the back half of it. He's 100 points. He starts out with an 8 movement phase teleport, 11 attack with penetrating blast, 18 defense with mastermind and indomitable, and a 3 damage with a 6 range. So he's going to be pretty well defended. He's got an 18 defense with Mastermind. He's got Shape Change on his damage power, and he's got traded Super Senses and Plasticity there as well. So for only 100 points, he's very well defended. He's got that Awit and Perplex and the ability to copy your opponent's objects if he hits them. And it's going to be easier to hit those characters because they're going to get a -1 for each team ability they have. All in all, this guy looks pretty awesome. If you could give him some like charge maybe with the exo specs that you either bring yourself or potentially steal from your opponent, charging with that 4 giant reach would be awesome. But there's a lot of uses for this guy. He looks really cool, and I'm just really glad we got him because he's a really cool character and probably fitting that he would be a chase for this set. But that's all we have for you guys today. As always, if you like this video, please leave a like for me and let me know in the comments what is your favorite figure previewed so far. Once again, this set is going to be releasing on the 22nd of July. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you like these types of videos so you don't miss any. But until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters signing off.